Hello everyone, I'm drberkkkaratas. Our topic as always is sexuality. Now about sexuality 3. We have the first phase. The first is the period before sexual relationships. The second is the period during sexual relationships. The third one is our life after sexual relationships. Now our topic is life before sexual relationships. What was there before sexual relationships? As we can see, there was masturbation. This is somewhat similar to things. In other words, human beings are dinosaurs. Before that, there were dinosaurs. The dinosaurs are gone and humans became the dominant species. Right now, the rulers of the world, you could say we are managing the earth. But let me remind you of today's conditions. A creature, a billion times smaller than us, changed our entire world. It changed all our habits. So we shouldn't be too boastful about it. We shouldn't overstep our limits. We need to be careful not to overstep our limits in sexuality. We talked about these things before. Life before sexual relationships, meaning masturbation. We talked about life in the videos. You can watch these. Make sure to watch it from me or someone else. If you don't like me, please watch from someone else. These are important for your sexual life. What else can be done in sexual relationships? We talked about these as well. You can watch it. Now I have some bad news about our life before sexual relationships. I also have some good news. Now let me give you the bad news. My bad news about this is that you are completely alone. Neither in your education nor in your family life will anyone tell you this. You won't be able to ask this either. Just imagine you're 16 or 17 years old and the family is gathered and you say, who will tell me good masturbation is done or proper masturbation is done? The moment you say explain, they will probably take you to a psychologist or a child psychologist. When you get married, we don't actually recommend that a married man masturbates. But by that time, what's done is done. Wrong masturbation has caused some problems. You know, if you're not embarrassed, you can go to the doctor. What is our good news? Our good news is this. We are living in the age of science. We are living in the age of information. We are living in the age of technology. Now we can learn everything we want from the comfort of our own homes. So, how these things are done in the life before sexual relationships, that is, in the life of masturbation. You can somehow learn whether you are doing it right or wrong. Reading from videos and so on, this is the good news. We didn't have this. Let me give an example from my own life. For instance, I went to elementary school for 5 years. 3 years of middle school, 3 years of high school wasn't enough. 6 years of medical school wasn't enough either. I did 4 years of residency, and that still wasn't enough. I did a higher specialization. I did a lot of things in conversion meetings, but not a single soul told me about life before sexual relationships. No one told me how to masturbate. It wasn't written in any book. When I didn't write, I thought I learned a lot of things. I never read. But then when we look, especially in this day and age, there are a lot of big mistakes out there. I'm also trying to explain these things from here, in a pure way. Now, things related to masturbation have changed a lot. In the past, not many good things was said about masturbation. But in the context we've reached today, science clearly states this. Masturbation is a healthy act. It is the first sexual act a person engages in. In fact, we can sometimes use this in treatment in certain places. Regarding masturbation in the context of science. Now, in our period before sexual relationships, that is during our masturbation period, let me clarify this right away. If you have a partner and everything is going well and everything is fine, we shouldn't be masturbating. If you're married, we shouldn't be masturbating. That energy, you need to communicate this to your spouse and partner. If you masturbate while being married or having a partner, some issues will arise there. That falls under the category of traumatic masturbation syndrome. Now, if it's not traumatic masturbation syndrome, sometimes emails come in. He says, teacher, I'm doing it this way. Is this traumatic? I'm doing it this way. Is it traumatic? Look, the definition of traumatic masturbation syndrome is very clear. Close your eyes with sexual intercourse. Let's all close our eyes. What are you doing about masturbation? Think about it. If you can do this in a relationship, there's no problem. But if you can't do this in a relationship and you keep masturbating this way, this is called traumatic masturbation syndrome, and sooner or later, it means you will face these issues in your sexual relationships. Let's briefly remember, what is traumatic masturbation syndrome? For example, a man lying down and rubbing himself. Doing it through clothing, traumatic masturbation syndrome. Doing it very quickly or with pressure is the same way. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man. Doing it by watching porn movies is traumatic masturbation syndrome. Again, doing it quickly and sneakily in the bathroom or toilet. And one of the biggest problems of our time is the vibrator. So if you use a vibrator for fantasy purposes, etc., there is no problem. But if you use it constantly, this vibration and every day a better one comes out. I mean, the other day I saw one that was like this. I mean, it gives an incredible vibration. Now imagine a woman having clitoral and orgasmic pleasure every other day or every 3 days. How will you orgasm when you have a male friend? There's no such stimulation. When there's no such stimulation, they can't orgasm. This time they're wandering around saying, I can't orgasm. The same goes for men. Men use a motor a little less. This is all traumatic. Masturbation syndrome. We shouldn't be doing these in our lives before sexual relationships. Our goal is alone by ourselves. It's not about eating unhealthy food given to us by someone else alone in a dark environment. Our goal is to enjoy the healthy food we make ourselves in a beautiful setting. Our main goal, however, is to add a partner to this view. If we always eat in the first way, it's very hard for us to reach the third one. In order for us to move to the third one, we always need to imitate that, in that tactic. It goes through the second picture. So, what I'm saying is this. You can't go out for a football match just by doing wrestling training. If you want to go out for a football match, you need to do proper football training. The better and more properly you do it, the more successful it will be. So, your life before sexual relationships, that is, your masturbatory life, the more correct, proper, and successful it is, the more orderly and successful your sexual life will be. And therefore enjoy better. And you'll provide more pleasure. But let's not forget that everyone is responsible for their own satisfaction. Thank you.